Hey there, welcome to day 303 of our BU 365-day challenge. Do one thing every day that moves us toward what we want, that improves us in some way. Now, most people don't have the gumption or the commitment or the consistency to stick to a 365-day challenge. But the truth is, we do a lot of things every single day. We brush our teeth every day. We wash our face. We get up. We sleep. We eat. We do so many things every day habitually. Why not consciously choose to do one thing every day that improves us? And it's pretty easy, right? If you've been with me this far, you know some days are harder than others, but for the most part, I've gotten through every day. So today we're going to talk about, and my question for you is, what do you personally think and believe right now is the most important, most valuable skill you can possibly have? I guess I've never really separated this and thought about this and consciously developed this skill, which is why I want to share it with you today, because it's one I'm definitely going to be working on consciously developing through the rest of this year and probably for the rest of my life, right? Because if I do one little thing every day to move me toward this, I will get better and better and better at it. So curious, share in the comments below, what do you think is the most valuable skill you can possibly have on the planet? Is it making money? Is it negotiating? Is it planning? Is it organizing? Is it leadership? Is it whatever the skill might be? So think about that. We'll take a couple of seconds and just jot down, what do you think the most valuable skill is? Because if I'm honest, when I read this card, I did not necessarily think that, until I thought about it. It's kind of like the paradoxes. Until you think about it, you're like, man, I don't necessarily agree with that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, this is 100% true. And I absolutely agree with it. I would have probably thought that communicating or becoming the best version of yourself or something was the greatest skill, which just kind of has something to do with, but not really. So who wants to know what that skill is? I was excited to read it. And I got it on a card in these decks. Remember these decks about books for the most part and about people's ideas and teachings? I have a whole bunch of them. And if I am looking for a way to learn something or improve something or think about something more positive in a given day, I will just pull out one of these decks and I'll randomly select a card. And it's really interesting how often the deck I choose and the card I choose and the book I open is exactly what I need at that particular moment. I don't know, I guess it's serendipity. So today, the most valuable skill, according to this deck, and I think this is I don't remember which deck this is. I believe that it's a Teachings of Abraham one, but I am not even positive. It just has a number on it. It doesn't say which deck it's from. Anyway, it says, I am developing the skill to direct my thoughts. I am developing the skill to direct my thoughts. Now, is it a skill or is it a talent? I think we're all born with the ability to think, right? Unless we have some kind of incapacitation or mental challenge because of a birth defect or something. We're all born with the ability to think and learn and grow. And so I'm developing the skill to direct my thoughts. Let's read the back of it. I need a magnifying glass for that. The most valuable skill or talent that you could ever develop is that of directing your thoughts toward what you want. Not just directing your thoughts, right? But directing your thoughts toward what you want. How many times have we said and talked about focus on what you want, focus on what you want, focus on what you want? Every time we do the SOAP framework, right? We talk about where we are, but where we want to be, because that's when we start moving toward and filling that gap. So we want to develop this most important skill or talent, whatever you call it, a skill or a talent. I think that we're born with it and that we can all develop. Anything that we have a little bit of capability at, we can always make better for ourselves. To be adept at quickly evaluating all situations and then quickly coming to the conclusion of what you most want and then giving your undivided attention to that. There is a tremendous skill in deliberately directing your own thoughts that will yield results that cannot be compared with results that mere action can provide. So I'm guilty of this, right? We do the SOAP framework, we come up with an action, we take that action. But if we add the skill and the ability to direct our thoughts and really think about the outcome and choose the right actions for us, we'll get much better results than if we just act. Now, I have a tendency to just take massive action, and some things will work, some things won't. But this is a more deliberate approach. By learning how to direct our thoughts, focus on what we want versus where we are right now. And this is a huge, huge differentiator. And it's a huge skill that can help us become successful faster or get what we want faster than we ever even imagined possible. Because instead of making decisions and choices from our not having something or the lack of it, we're now making decisions and choices and moving toward as if we've already got it and what the thing that we want. And so we're envisioning ourselves, we're living as if we've already got that. So we're making decisions and choices and thinking like we already are the thing we want to be. We already have the thing we want. And that just brings it into our life faster because our subconscious and the universe conspires together to make it happen for us because it becomes our reality, right? So many amazing books and teachings on creating what we want and how we create things. But everything starts in our imagination, starts in our mind. It has everything to do with our mindset. So love to know, do you agree or disagree that this is the most important skill to develop? If I think of every area and aspect of my life, if we have the way to deliberately think about and direct our thoughts on to what we want versus where we are right now, what we don't have, what we're lacking, that will get us there light years faster than any other thing we could possibly do. And in order to do that, by directing our thoughts, we'll know, do we need to develop leadership skills? Do we need to develop listening or communication skills? What is it that each and every one of us needs? Because all of our journeys and paths are going to be different. Love to know your thoughts on this topic. Like I said, I've known on an underground subconscious level that this is true, but now that I've read this card today, I'm like, wow, this is absolutely positively true. So what can I do from this day forward to make sure I am focusing on what I want? Because I'm as guilty as the next person of letting my attention dwindle down to the lack or my current situation or what I don't have that I want, instead of focusing on what I want, focusing on what I want, focusing on what I want, because that's the fastest way to get there. All right. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Go direct your thoughts toward what you want.